Salutations. Welcome to the Cars, Bars, and Guitars podcast, episode
92.
Well, I'm AJ.
And I'm Steve.
Steve, who we brought to you today by?
Zoning out so hard driving home from work that I almost stopped by your store when I didn't need to stop by your store. It was an exit early.
Okay. Yeah, when I had to go to Columbia a couple weeks ago to get my new grill, I started out going north on 485, and I got to about Albemarle Road exit and passed by and went, where the fuck am I going? Why am I going this way? So I had to turn around. Well, Steve, what are we drinking today?
The other PBR coffee, the hard cold brew, slightly sweet, dairy free, weighing in at 4.2 ABV.
Yep, you know the rules, and so do I. 1, 2, 3.
Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Now it smells more like coffee. Tastes like a more coffee-ish coffee than last installment.
Yeah,
Still good.
I think I like the Yoo-Hoo better.
Yeah, but this is definitely the more coffee-like, or like a Frappuccino edition.
That's true. I gotta be honest though. I think like Starbucks does good dessert coffee, but like Dunkin' does the better wake your ass up coffee.
Kaylin prefers Dunkin's coffee to about everything.
Gotcha.
And back at old job, whenever they had a carafe of that, I would call that the turbo heroin.
Indeed. What was it? The Dunkin' Harpoon Dunkin' beer we had was amazing. Steve, I also brought some Woodford Reserve single barrel orange cigar box pick. It's a barrel pick from Southern Spirits, our good friend who runs the Booze Letter and runs that place. So, Keith, it smells like orange, tastes like orange, and like a Maduro cigar. It's really good. And very smooth. Steve Likey. Hang a thing on that, buddy. How you feel about it?
Like that.
That's dynamite. It was only $50, which that's a big bottle of Woodford. Woodford's usually a little skinnier than that, but that's a good one. I don't know if these flavors are going to lend themselves too well to together, but
what can you do?
Well, Steve, you got some news for us at Carvana?
My imaginary job may be coming true. I was informed a week ago to select and train my replacement in wizarding. Like, okay. Quickest advice is just experiment a lot. Trying to figure out features on a car. Does it have nav? Does it have lane keep? Mm-hmm. How do you get the seats from trying to crush you when you start the car? Automatic seats are the worst.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Infinity.
Not as bad as automatic seat belts.
Yeah. No, those have long since been extinct. Like our oldest cars we see now are 09s.
I've had 2 cars with automatic seat belts. You've had how many?
0. I almost had at least one back prior to picking up the 89 GTI, which was just a death trap. Mm-hmm. Might have wound up with an 88 Camry wagon or a 91 Legacy. And both of those would have been so equipped, but wound up not getting those. Instead got the GTI, which it had seatbelts.
Indeed.
and it almost killed its next owner, so there's that.
Wonder if he was wearing it.
Not true.
I got a seatbelt ticket in one of mine. I took my lap belt off to get my wallet out, and he's like, "You don't have your lap belt on." I say, "I had to get my wallet out." He gave me a seatbelt ticket too, motherfucker.
That's entrapment.
Yeah, so that's okay. I got out of both of them because I hadn't had a ticket in so long. But that was when I was 18, I think, on the way to Pigeon Forge. I got a speeding ticket and a fucking seatbelt ticket. Same damn.
Messed up.
It really, really was. But when I got to my lawyer, or I called their office, I'm like, "Hey, Mr. Morton, this is Roy's son." He's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing, little Roy? How fast were you going?" He's like, "You know me well, buddy. You know me well." So good. I'm glad the imaginary job will be hopefully a little less imaginary.
Yeah, I was like, Ryan came up to me today. He's like, "Send me your resume." Like, Yeah, I guess I do need to tweak it since the last time I sent it to him 9 months ago.
I didn't know you could dance. Oh, tweak. Not twerk.
No.
I would pay to see you twerk.
I don't know the words.
I was off today, and I'm so glad we're doing an episode because I did nothing today. I don't like doing nothing, but I just wasn't motivated. I went to On the Border for lunch and came home and took a nap I didn't deserve. So that was
you had to digest. That's what happened.
That's true. But I got a doubleheader show Saturday, so I do have to rest up for that. And then order parts that don't work, and then have 2 channels that for some reason aren't working correctly. But
we were sounding like robots, so there's that.
Yeah, it's so weird that it was sounding weird through the headphones, but it was recording it just fine. That is kind of stupid to me.
Especially now that you've changed the channels and everything's okay now.
Yeah, but I bought this to have 4 XLR inputs, so if I can't get 1 and 2 to work...
You're back to where you were with the twofer.
True, but I'm pretty sure this has a warranty on it. But since I use it quite a bit, I'm gonna not need to be without it.
Push it too much.
I'm not gonna be without it for a while. Nothing new at work. I still hate people. The more I work there, the more I hate the people that shop there. But music's been good to me. Got a lot of shows coming up. You guys busy Saturday?
More wedding stuff. That's going to be occupying force for the next month.
You're on the home stretch, buddy.
Yep.
And it will be all-encompassing, and then the day will come and go, and you'll barely remember it even happened.
Yep.
Ask me how I know.
Been there, done that.
And I don't understand how people do that shit 3 and 4 times. Absolutely understand getting married to somebody but 3, 4, even more Larry King's dead. You don't have to compete with him anymore. I always like the guy that I used to play open mic. He got married 4 times. His fourth wife was also his second wife. So they both realized they couldn't put up with anybody else.
Fair enough.
And so I think they're still married now. Your boy is on Instagram now.
Congratulations. Enjoy the bikini models.
Well, I had 50 followers, and I didn't have any content on it. So I signed up for it, but I just never posted. And so I actually updated a profile picture and all that shit and posted a picture. And I found out I had 50 followers. I'm like, I don't know why y'all followed me. I wasn't doing anything.
Did you just start it today?
No. I started
it a while back?
Yeah, about a year ago.
Okay.
That's so weird because I clearly don't have any content, but I don't know how this works.
If somebody had seen you at a show and wanted to see if you're posting anything, no, you're not, but it's just another number on theirs.
Is it like Facebook where you can run another page from your own?
Yeah, you can stack them.
Okay, so I need to stack Analog Crash since you're running CBG Pod.
Badly.
You're still running it better than I am.
Yeah, that's it. I think one of the old table bottle pictures is up, and the logo.
Oh, what happened to the LAPD hat?
Definitely forgot to pick that up. That was upstairs today, and I was only downstairs this afternoon.
Oh, gotcha.
And grabbed the tablet and some drinks on my way out this morning, and punch in at 5:58 when I need to be there at 6 a.m. So yeah, I'm not quite all there per usual.
It's better than third shift.
Yeah.
It's a low bar, but it's better than third shift.
Yes, and if I go semi-pro, that's going to be maybe even normal hours, and
8 to 5.
an option to work from home, perhaps.
Oh, what?
Yeah, like some remote hours would be quite sweet.
Yeah.
I've never had that opportunity.
I can't. So unless I can program it to do it like a stacking vegetables, like a fucking pick a price.
Yeah,
Dude, that would take a little while. I think it's time to do some news. Steve, Utah has banned alcohol sales at axe-throwing businesses because...
injury.
Well, you know why. I'm surprised it still happens at
Yes.
places because that's just not a good mixture.
I mean, it's not like you can drink at a gun range, can you?
I hope not. Probably in Texas, but where they have drive-through liquor stores, where they've kind of invented it. Yeah, that's not a good mixture. I mean,
No.
it's not really a good mixture. Not even at home. Do you remember the game beer darts or lawn darts?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was another game. Beer darts was
Which realistically, any projectile can be a lawn dart.
That's true. But they did it at Pigeon Forge when we go with Star Quest Club, and they'd have the beer, and wherever you hit the can, is you had to drink down to where the hole was.
That's amazing.
But we looked like a bunch of fucking wackos. People were walking by, and we're playing that shit in the parking lot of the hotel. It's great. I don't know.
That's parking lot darts, and that's okay.
Right, yes. Coors of Florida has used ice from Amalie Arena, home of the Tampa Bay Lightning, to make a limited edition beer called Champions Ice in honor of Tampa Bay Lightning's Stanley Cup victory this year. You're thinking what I'm thinking, aren't you?
Yeah.
Tell me they used it before any of the skates and spit and blood got everywhere. I'm hoping so.
It was like we took the ice, we melted it, we filtered it, and we brewed with it. Like that's a real generous stretch there, guys.
So I guess it'll be Coors Ice.
With the blood, sweat, and beers.
I like that. All the ice beers always tasted a little bit weird anyway.
Yeah, some having been ice brewed, ice house, bush ice, like all the 6% beers back when that was the limit. So that was as strong as beer could be until 2005 here.
Yeah, that's crazy too to think about that.
Or my go-to back in the day was Steel Reserve, which would give me nightmares.
It still does.
Yeah.
But
and then once I got the 8.3% Steel Reserve, it still delivered.
Yeah. How do they do the ice beers again? Don't they brew it and then shave off like the top layer of
something like
water
that?
or ice?
Yeah, basically by reducing the water in the beer makes it a stronger concentration.
Okay, that makes sense. I was kind of thinking that, but I wanted to run
instead
away.
of the advertising, it's an ice brewed for extra flavor, extra power, extra alcohol. We're gonna tell you how this works because it's not exactly a trade secret. Drink Bud Ice House.
Bud Ice House. Remember the Ice House story with Eric King? Eric King's parents went out of town. They weren't old enough to buy beer yet, and I was 21. They were like, "Hey, can you stop by Can you buy some beer to play beer pong with? I got a bunch of people over, and we'll pay you when we get here." I'm like, okay. I had 3 suitcases of Ice House. And they were like, "Oh, we never had this before," and like we played and stayed there, and like everybody woke up next hungover as fuck. Like, God damn, I'm never drinking Ice House.
That's running 30% stronger than you're used to at that point.
Right. If you're used to using Bud Light or what Bud Light's 3.6,
roughly 4%.
So this is actually higher.
It's a session beer without being a session beer. I'm just spitballing a number there, but I think it's in the 4s.
Well,
I think like the
Guinness
ultralights, a standard Guinness is 4.5 or 5%.
I could have sworn it was lower.
And then
than that.
the extra stout is 7%, and then whatever magical thing you got was 10%.
Mm-hmm. Guinness ABV 4.2.
All right.
Can you get drunk on Guinness? People also ask.
Allegedly.
I mean, yeah, you can, but it's good luck drinking a fucking 6 Guinnesses. That's aggressive. Like,
go on.
I mean, it's my Guinness session. It's kind of like drinking chocolate milk in a session. Like, yeah, you can, but I don't think you should. And I love Guinness.
I've got a feeling I could do that.
The Milwaukee Brewers are dropping prices on stadium beer this Sunday only for a throwback 90s weekend where former players will be doing the bartending. And a 16-ounce beer will be just $4. And that,
wow, instead of 14.
Yeah, that's... What are you doing this Sunday?
Not going to a baseball game?
Yeah, because every sporting event's like... Emily and I went to the baseball game, Tampa, and watched the Yankees. I think I got nachos. She got a hot dog. I got a beer. She got a water. It was $30-something. Like, yep. I mean, granted, the nachos were fucking good, but
$3. Yeah.
And well, the tickets we were in the outfield, and it was $100 fucking a ticket. But Yankees are in town. It's a night game. I'll happily pay that price though because we were indoors. Watching baseball in air conditioning is where it's at, even if the dome is older than I am.
The air conditioner likely is on par with the age of your air conditioners.
I could only imagine so, and quite a bit stronger.
Yeah.
Steve, what is the car and driver electric vehicle of the year? And don't try to strain yourself thinking about too badly.
The Mache.
Yep. Kind of saw that one coming.
Don't call it a Mustang.
They definitely shouldn't have called it a Mustang. But is car and driver gonna start splitting up their cars of the year? Like, well, they do truck of the year too, don't they? SUV of the year. So I guess
so you probably have your Cody, your Toady, and then your Eody.
I guess so. And then
truck, car, and electric of the year.
What about electric truck of the year?
Sure. Then be the E-Toady.
Oh Jesus! Isn't that a
so? One of these days it'll be a Rivian.
Nice. I skipped a beer one.
Or the Top Gear Jeff. Spelled Geoff.
Yeah, Geoff.
Ugh.
That's not a great spelling of that.
No.
All right, so I have a map up of how much every state taxes beer. You would not believe the highest and lowest. You want to guess at $1.29 per gallon in excise tax. This state leads the United States.
That would be the most expensive.
The most expensive
per gallon expense.
Excise tax.
New York.
No, New York is one of the lowest at 14 cents per
Wow.
gallon. One of the lowest. The lowest is, all right, I'll give you the lowest. The lowest is 2 cents a gallon. The highest is $1.29.
Then highest is California.
California is very low at 20 cents a gallon. It's so stupid that this is the state.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is one of the lowest at 6 cents. All right, so this state has a building that looks like Batman.
Tennessee.
Tennessee is the highest excise tax on beer, $1.29 a gallon.
What, beer or alcohol?
Beer.
Okay.
In 2021. $1.29
I wonder
a gallon.
what Tennessee and Kentucky would tax on their whiskeys.
Probably very
since
low.
That's, much more common.
Kentucky is second highest at 89 cents a gallon.
That's got to be in retaliation to their stronger, bourbon and whiskey production.
Yeah. And unfortunately, North Carolina is fourth highest at 62 cents per gallon. Lowest is Wyoming at 2 cents. 2. That's there's nothing else to do out there. So I would have never thought Tennessee, we're high, but Tennessee's double us. Like that's really, really high. But I guess you're right about the bourbon and the whiskey, but
yeah, and this state's got more wine production than whiskey production.
Tennessee does?
No, North Carolina would definitely have more wine than whiskey production.
Gotcha. Yeah, for sure. Evidently Childress has good wine, but
they do.
I have not had
any. That's a very cool spot.
Was it up there near Lexington?
Yes, it's a lovely chateau.
Well, Steve, BMW releases an all-new 7 Series for 2023, and it is atrociously hideous.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Extra beavery.
Yeah.
It is a beaver with dimples this time.
It is.
They managed to make the bad design seem worse.
It looks like the headlights were supposed to be higher, and then it's just sheet metal. It's so fucking ugly. I was hoping you hadn't seen it yet, so I could
I saw
see
it
you
right
vomit
before
on
here,
camera.
and it's no. Well, at least I'm pretty sure I saw it. It was simply picture of car and barf emoji, and oh dear, it's more Nosferatu.
Did you see the Jason Camisa episode on the new 4 series about how the old one was better, and the thumbnail was him standing there like this, and his teeth are huge? By the way, Camisa's fucking rad as hell.
Yes.
I've been watching all of his stuff.
He's a lovely hothead to listen to.
He explained why the drive-by throttle or drive-by wire is better than the throttle cable, and I do understand where he's coming from about your traction and it being easier, but the immediacy of a by cable cannot be beat unless you get the pedal
commander or the like. Still need to install it on newer car. But
you're not having trouble driving it though, are you?
No, it's been fine.
Okay, you have to kind of concentrate a little bit more.
This one definitely seemed snappier stock than the red one did.
Okay.
And then I don't know, it's a function of this one having just been in better shape.
Yeah. It's BMW to me peaked at design probably
2000.
I was going to say early 2000s.
Yeah, the M3, M5 of the day. I'm going to excuse the early X5s that look like stretch 5 Series wagons just upward. I still find them very strange looking.
Indeed.
Although I heard on TST today that there was such a thing as a one-off Le Mans X5.
Yeah.
A V12 manual transmission, 700 horsepower experimental vehicle. Like, ooh, that sounds interesting.
I'm getting excited down here. Croatian car manufacturer Rimac.
Apparently it's
Rimac.
Because they will make extra letters, like C with like little squiggly.
Well, that's interesting because all the former Yugoslav countries, like some of the C's are ch sounds.
Apparently that one is pronounced Rimac.
Interesting. Maybe Croatian and Bosnian's a little bit different with C's because I know they can.
Because otherwise it looks like Rimac.
Yeah, they can understand.
But they're that realty firm, so I need to see my Rimac hot air balloon as well as my new Bugatti.
There you go. They took a majority stake in Bugatti, which is interesting. The guy who owns Rimac must be quite rich because I can't imagine they've sold that many cars.
No. Well, the car made famous for Richard Hammond almost dying in it too.
Yep. He has a habit of doing that. It's a damn good-looking car, though.
I've not seen
a Rimac.
There's been since early Top Grand Gear Tour.
Why don't you pull it up, sir?
Yes. Awaken tablet.
Yeah, evidently, so your former Yugoslav countries are. I think it's written the same way, but there's a little bit of a pronunciation difference. But they can all understand each other. It's sort of like
Spanish and Italian.
To a degree, but it's a lot more similar than that. Think more like somebody from Scotland and then somebody from like Alabama. They could communicate, but it's gonna take a little more concentration. Whereas I think Mandarin and Cantonese, they're written exactly the same way but spoken differently, or vice versa is one of those. Shut up! It's been a long day. Have you found it? That's a damn good-looking car.
It looks like a giant Evora.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah. Well, on to music, Steve. Rush's Alex Lifeson is working on new music with Tom Morello and Kirk Hammett. Yeah.
Rush against the Metallica?
I was thinking that. Or... I don't know. Yeah, there's two. It would be better if there were multiple names in it, but since it's
3 of them, that's
Rush Talica the Machine.
Nice.
And finally, Juvenile has remixed his famous anthem to a vaccine-positive track called "Vax That Thing Up."
Nice.
How to stay relevant in 2021.
Whatever works.
That's all the news I got, Steve.
All right.
It was a very, thankfully, a slow, because a lot of the news we've had lately has been quite bad news, actually. So do we want to do a car topic, or do we want to go into our music topic of, just the best debut albums of all time?
Sure.
I think we should do this because we haven't done something like this in a while. But we talked about on the phone last night. It was like Appetite for Destruction was Guns N' Roses first because they came from L.A. Guns and Hollywood Rose.
Yeah.
But it was their first as...
Yeah, the Guns N' Roses.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm on Rolling Stone, so we can talk about this.
The top 100.
Uh-huh.
That's what it just was.
You know, this is good, but this just drinks more like a coffee.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste like it has any alcohol in it at all, which is... Maybe I should just drink one of these every morning before I go to work, and that way I get it in my system.
There you go.
And I'm almost out. Do you want to... I've got the Death by Flapjacks in the can.
That works.
And I've also got the Duck Rabbit Schwartz.
Ooh. May the Schwartz be with you.
And also with you. Actually, grab the Death by Flap. You haven't had Death by Flapjacks, have you?
No, just Death by Waffles.
That sounds like a pancake with syrup traps. Thanks, Mitch Hedberg. You're a pal. Used to do drugs, Steve. Still do, but I used to, too. You're going to like that, I guarantee it.
So this could be all breakfast beers. We've got, so this is all breakfast beers, so we have coffee and now we have pancakes.
I mean, it's not a horrible idea. This is really good. They have Death by Coconut.
The orange whiskey for some fruit.
Yeah. You had Death by Coconut before.
Yes.
And it's very good.
Yes.
Well, this is the same premise, but different. You got to finish that before we start a new one. You don't have to, but.
For those not watching, I just gestured spitting my beer back into the can.
Steve, what is it?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Death by Flapjacks, presented by Oscar Blues Brewery, weighing in at 6.5 ABV. Ale with maple syrup, vanilla, lemon peel, nutmeg, lactose, and natural flavor.
Are you tolerant?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I hope it's as good in the can as it was on draft.
I think.
It is.
Oddly enough, the lemony flavor is most prevalent.
In the can, it is, and on the draft, it's the maple. But
More syrupy.
it's still good.
Yeah.
That's still very good. Any haps, we got our top 100 according to Rolling Stone, and I guess Rolling Stone most of the time gets. I think that the higher the number goes, the more accurate it is. If it's like a top 5 albums,
Yeah.
anybody could fight over that. But when you have 100, you could go, okay, at least it's on the list.
You know, it's not, something I normally listen to. Like, sorry, Lady Gaga weighing in at number 100. Or go real crazy with their top 500 that gets revised every so often.
Yeah, I've enjoyed that.
Somewhere I've got the DVD digital archive Rolling Stone from like 67 to 07.
Mm-hmm.
Never opened it up, never used it.
Huh.
But it's like the idea of like a giant magazine archive, and now 14 years later, like, could I find that product?
Right.
Could I find that for the car mags? I would really like some sort of digital version of, Car and Road and Track and Driver.
Sure.
Trend.
My all right, so my oldest sister's first husband had a lot of car magazines, and like they were moving or whatever, and they were digging through, and like I kept like these old motor trends about when the Lamborghini Diablo VT first came out, and like it was way old, but I still read, like I kept reading, and I was like, that's so fucking cool, and I cut the pictures out and put them up. Like I miss those days, like something physical. Like you,
yeah. Like
I'm not anti-technology, but like there's something about having like reading a CD booklet or
Yeah. At my old job, there was a guy that left a bunch of car mags in the break room.
Nice.
So that was my reading while setting something on fire in the microwave.
I think you should probably turn down the sensitivity on. Oh,
Or stop cooking stuff with a CD in the microwave. That's what it was.
That's it.
Have you ever seen that? That's a fun little light show. Only do it about 3-4 seconds. It sparks up and then leaves this rather interesting pattern on the disc.
We had a new microwave.
Or if you have something that you need to get rid of in a hurry,
right?
It's hosed.
A body. We have a new microwave at work. Well, it's not new now. It's like a year old. Every time I stop it at 1 and clear it out because it bothers me that when your food is done, it beeps 5 times and not 4. Every other microwave I've had, beep, 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 done. This one beeps 5 fucking times, and it's infuriating. And I don't know why it makes me so angry, but it does. It beeps that 1 extra time. Have you ever counted the beeps?
I'm really not paying that much attention. Just know what noise to look for, listen for.
This is the dumbest shit that bothers me. This is what keeps me up at night. How do you feel about Gaga? Because I actually like Lady Gaga.
For modern, crazy, dancey music, she's not bad.
She writes it. Her and Taylor.
I was thinking her and Brad Cooper.
Was that good?
Apparently, that was the 4th version of A Star Is Born, and yes.
Yeah,
I've seen that one all the way through, and I saw half of the Streisand one from 77. There was one in 54 and one in the 30s as well.
So
it seems that, so, in 20 years, in 30 years, in 40 years, they'll redo it. So the next one should be ready in 2060.
Well, who will it be by then? Well, some other teeny popper or something like that. But no, Gaga writes her own shit, and so does Taylor Swift. But then other people like Katy Perry, all those other pop stars like that, they have ghostwriters. So they have 5 people in a room writing the. I don't know.
Her songs written by Nick Cage.
Ghostwriter, you'll get caught up in the. Wait a second, that's not the same thing. 99, Steve. We got. That's an amazing name.
Talbot fell asleep. The Flying Burrito Brothers, The Gilded Palace of Sin from 1969.
I've never heard of this in my entire life.
Me neither, but
I feel like we need
Parsons, Hillman falling to burritos after they both quit the Byards.
Wait, the New Yardbirds is what Jimmy Page was in.
Yeah, it's just more fun to pronounce birds with a Y as Byards.
Indeed. Yeah, I've never heard of the Flying Burrito Brothers, and there's 6 of them, and it looks to be 2 women underneath that little house. But
that looks like a bit of a shed, so it appears
tiny house.
This palace really has some work and some gilding to the wardrobes are pretty fantastic.
That is great. Like, honestly, but you know what? I think the older we get and the more fashion becomes whatever fashion is, you could pretty much wear whatever you fucking want to wear now. Nobody's really going to think twice about it. Like, I don't. I'll go, that's...
Speaking of wearing whatever the hell you want, over the 4th of July, my brother-in-law is rocking the beginnings of a mullet.
I love it.
You can take the man out of Brick County, but you can't take the Brick County out of the man.
You said Burke County?
Yeah. He's from Valdez, which is right outside
Hickory.
Morganton, Hickory.
Yep. I was born at Catawba, in Catawba County, and I would have been going to Fred T. Ford High School, which is just as redneculous as you think it probably would be.
No relation to Henry?
F-O-A-R-D. Foward.
Foward. I was like, oh, great, the name's a typo.
Never heard of the Burrito Brothers? Joe Jackson.
Look sharp.
Don't know that either.
Got the Time got covered by Anthrax, and it's incredible.
How does that go, roughly?
Got the time tick 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 in my head. Got time tick in my head. Tick 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 in my head.
Is that old, like 80s Anthrax, or is that
I think it was Joey Belladonna on lyrics, and it was on Attack of the Killer Bees there. Was there B-sides or a covers album? I think it was like they're all covers album, whatever it was. And like Anthrax is the second best cover band in the room.
Greg was.
Then there's you.
Yeah, thank you. Greg was talking to me about that when he gave me Van Halen's last album, Fair Warning. He said it was the first album they didn't have any covers or anything like they just did. He said, and that's what he appreciated about it. I was like, yeah, I could see that. Like, if every album you do has a cover on it, like,
yeah,
or two, like, I'm like, I don't just do what Metallica did. Just do an album of covers.
Just do an album of covers,
yep.
and it's incredible.
Great. It was so good. I think So What might be my favorite on there. Although Turn the Page is so much better than Bob Seger's version, but I'm not a big Bob Seger fan.
Just give me that old time rock and roll. Like, I grew up on that song. Really loved it then, and that was well before I saw Risky Business, and hell, even now it's before I saw Risky Business.
I've never seen Risky Business.
Like, all right, here's Tom Cruise and no pants, sliding, and socks. Check, please.
Yeah, that was pre-Scientology. With the power of L. Ron Hubbard, he could have just kept going.
That's it.
You're next, Steve.
Number 97, Introducing by DJ Shadow from 96.
I've never heard of this before. Permanent Slump. I like that.
I'm trying to get out of that.
That's great. I've never heard of this before.
Nope.
So we don't have anything to say about it, so let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
Bingo. That's a good one.
Madonna by Happy Donna.
Mm-hmm. Madonna Sission. It's her last. Sission's her last name.
She's a professional wine connoisseur.
I was going to say she was a pasta. By the way, speaking of
Cicerone.
pasta, do you want to try out Empire after this? Was that the plan?
Yes. I was like the Kasabian album, like that's awesome.
Nice. Yeah, you'll like it.
It's like I don't always name bands. When I do, they were in Charlie Manson's Cult.
I like that you prefer. No, we should just call him Chuck Manson. The 90s band who. All right, so Troy and I talked a little bit the other day to derail a little bit. He bought a 2011 Cyber Gray Corvette, and he's already got the supercharger kit and everything. He's gonna have it wrapped. And then when he gets done with the wrap, he's going to have all his friends come over and spray paint the fuck anything they want onto it and drive it around for a little while and then peel the wrap off. So,
so you're saying this car's going to make him seasick?
Indeed. I said, you can lower those things really easily because the suspension geometry. His direct quote was, "I can barely get my fat ass in and out of it
those
right now."
Those are so difficult to get in and out of. Like, no, I would happily Safari one.
More for you.
Just like I really don't care for how low that damn car sits. It's like the more time that passes, it's like I'm having trouble getting out of like Vets and FRS BRZs. Like they're just tiny.
Boy, they really. I don't like the way the new one looks. BRZ.
It's genericer.
It's really is. I don't care if it's faster. It doesn't even look as good as the other one.
It looks like the 2020 Ford Escape. Which that beak on it is just goofy looking.
Yeah, I don't really love the BRZ. Like I always like the way it looks, but I didn't like just the engine.
Yeah, just the underperformance of it.
Sure.
Like all I needed was a soup to make it 300 horsepower instead of 2.
Well, after watching another Jason Camisa thing, he said, "Yep, if they could put a turbo on it, but then they'd have to update the suspension and the transfer case." And the gearbox, and by the time you turboed and everything, that'd be a $45,000 car with a $20,000 car interior. And at that point, you can buy a used C7 for $45,000.
Yeah, which is
blow the doors off of it in every category except back.
2 feet longer and 6 inches wider, and it'd be. But less more comfortable, and there's no delusions of a back seat in it.
Right, I was going to say, yeah, if you're buying the BRZ because it has a back seat, you're going to be disappointed.
And you can have a Vet with a hatchback like a freaking adult. So if you need to carry stuff or get the aero deck on it.
God, it makes me want to die. But it got to the point. It was a 90s cover band in the area that plays all around. They do a lot of weddings, but they're called Gump Fiction.
Nice.
This is great.
Someone's been watching Mad TV.
Yes. Madonna's first album was great. Absolutely great. Borderline, Holiday, Everybody. Like, that Holiday was great. I think she wrote all her own songs, too.
That sounds right.
My sister looked a lot like Madonna in her heyday. The hairspray, the dress, and everything. But I listened to quite a bit of that. And I still like a lot of Madonna songs. What do you suppose your favorite Madonna song is? I can go first if you want me to.
Sure.
Mine is Secret.
That's a good one.
I love that
I actually
one.
had that stuck in my head some while ago.
I like that one to Take a Bow that she did with Babyface. That was good too. That was on 94 Music Box, I think.
Borderline's a good one.
Borderline's good. Like a Prayer's good too.
Yeah.
There's good. There's some good shit.
With the Sinead O'Connor wannabe looking video.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. All right, next, Steve.
Here's Little Richard. And for the longest time, I kept getting Little Richard and Lionel Richie mixed up.
Little Richie. Lionel Richard. Hello, is it woo you're looking for?
Good golly, Miss Molly.
Tutti Frutti. Yeah, man. He could sing his that. He's still alive, I think.
You knew.
I'll look. I got it. Let's see.
Wop bop wop a wop bam boom.
No, he died last year, May 9th, 2020. Richard Wayne Penniman. Boy, but with all that plastic surgery later on in life, he started to kind of look scary.
Yikes.
That's terrifying. All right, I'm getting away from that because I don't want to have nightmares. But he was a great entertainer too.
Who?
Next, The Who.
Sings My Generation, which for the longest time I kept thinking was a Beatles song. Whoops.
Well, Greg was telling me that
the early Who really enjoyed, and then they kept going, and I find them really hit and miss.
Yeah, I don't love Roger Daltrey's voice. Pete's a great guitar player, but I can't. It's not a bad voice. It's just like something I can't really get into.
Super into. Sure,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah. But I don't. But I do get why they're popular. Like I don't love the Beatles, but I mean they're, to me, like Greg said, they were a glorified boy band. And I'm like, well, that's kind of true.
And for what it's worth, they had the good sense to break up in 1970,
right?
So rather than keep going, then you wind up with disco Rolling Stones.
You better burn out than fade away.
Yeah,
that's why do you think Skynyrd and Nirvana they're so popular? Like eventually, you're pop. Most of the time, you're popular long enough if you're a big band that eventually people start to turn on you.
There's some semblance of Leonard Skinner still out and about, but
one original member.
Yeah, it was just the rest of them got marshaled.
Yeah, some of them played marshals. Probably not. I don't know who
that joke is invincible.
Indeed, I don't know who French Kiss is.
I think The Hold Steady is the band, and Almost Kill Me is the album. I've heard of The Hold Steady.
You're right.
I couldn't place anything of theirs.
Not a clue. 04,
nope.
Meatloaf meets Billy Joel.
Certain songs pays tribute to a bar where the jukebox has the perfect ratio of Meatloaf to Billy Joel.
Holy shit! Read that last. Read the first. Read right before that. Craig Finn.
Craig Finn splutters his crazed one-liners about killer parties gone mad from Mary Got a Bloody Nose from Sniffing Margarita Mix. I did a couple favors for the guys who look like the Tuscan Raiders.
Well, I think we need to listen to this.
If I recall correctly, Craig Finn talks like Millhouse.
What?
I remember Jonah Ray talking about him on there, and I think that's the guy that, hey, man, this kind of sounds like this.
That's incredible. That sounds great. We need to listen to that. We'll do an album
And
deep
unfortunately,
dive.
Jonah Radio has been on hiatus because one of the hosts died.
Ooh.
I don't know how. The guy was in his early to mid 40s. Like, don't know if it was the Rona or something else. Like, they had a sending off for it and
Jeez.
haven't picked up the torch because that's been one of my not so secret weapons in discovering good new music.
Interesting.
Between that, Sound Opinions, and the Rollins and Iggy casts, that's a lot to keep up with. So it's like, don't bother trying to keep up with all of them because that would be 8 or 10 hours of music podcast a week. They can't all be Poltergeist by Den. That crazy ass song I played you 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, and I said that was sounding like something you would listen to.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
By the way, folks, check out Poltergeist by the band Den, Den, on Rice's Nice Records from Australia.
You think the
This
guy?
is not a paid promotion.
You think the guy died from snorting too much margarita mix?
I'll get back to you on that. No, that was just the bloody nose.
Moby Grape from Moby Grape.
I remember that band name from Clarissa's dad on Explains It All.
It's too bad she's a fascist now because she was quite lovely in that, and Sabrina the Teenage Witch. By the way, Salem the cat is so fucking cool in that. It's such a snarky black cat.
You still haven't managed to get Cairo to talk at all, have you? You're really missing out on this.
Emily and I had this discussion several months ago. I was like, I said, honey, if I know what I'm about to say is impossible, but if you were sitting down one day and one of the cats walked by and went, "What's up?" and kept going, would you tell anybody? Because if you did tell somebody, they wouldn't believe you anyway.
How strong are those cancer meds?
What?
How strong are those cancer meds, Em?
But nobody would ever believe you. So
are you taking something that's now legal in Virginia? What's going on here?
So if something like that happens, there's no way you can tell anybody because they're gonna all think you're fucking crazy or that you're just joking. So it's just something you just have to keep to yourself.
That's why I just have to keep quoting Dr. Evil totally straight faced. Because he would make outrageous statements like he invented the question mark.
Thanks, Al Gore, for inventing the internet. I don't know anything about Moby Grape.
More stuff I know I need to look up. I've heard of that. No, I haven't heard it. Or I don't always use handguns as percussion, but when I do, I'm missing in action.
I do like that song, but
sampled the Clash.
Yes. And they don't play that song in clubs anymore because after the shooting at a nightclub, if you can't decipher the song versus a real gun.
Yeah. I'll see also the last week being bombarded with fireworks.
Yeah. Yeah.
The album is Arular.
Which might be something in Sri Lankan because that's where she's half from.
Okay.
She is attractive, though. I don't know anything else about her besides Paper Planes.
I had no idea that had been around that long.
I don't think Paper Planes was it on there? No.
Or just her career altogether had been around since 2005. But
a lot of these.
But basically, the entire time frame since I've been in Charlotte is pretty blurry.
Can't imagine why.
It was 14 years in the same job, and the last 4 of which I hated. So that's really messed up with the memory. Apparently, the last 5 years have been counterbalanced with someone quite lovely.
True.
Made a bit lovelier a month from today.
Yes, I can't wait to go to that.
My dog.
I think you'll like being married, mostly because you pretty much already are.
Yep.
All right, so we might be here for a while if we're going to discuss all these albums.
Yeah,
but
or scroll through.
Stop
if
when we
you
know
can
something.
land on number of albums so we can catch up.
Well, we can read the art, but we don't have to delve into. But I don't know what Big Star.
I had no idea I'd been around that long. That was one of the bands that kept popping up when I first listened to Sound Ops.
Mm-hmm.
And they really enjoy it, and usually I agree with them, but when I don't, it's a lot of fun screaming at the radio. Big Star did not appear to be one of those instances, so there's that.
What day does Sound Opinions come on? Is it Saturday?
I don't know if WFAE still.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. A, don't know. 2, podcast it.
No.
And they recently split from being tied to WBEZ of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
They went independent, but are still broadcast on it. But now they're their own thing. So in the midst of that, they changed the podcast RSS. So I had to update my podcast apps to keep getting episodes of them. That usually it's a fun time, and
Gotcha.
like I said a moment ago, like it's fun to argue one-sided when I think what they're enjoying is complete trash.
When somebody likes something that I just don't think's good, I do that in my head. I'm like, why do y'all like it? I like this so much?
And now they've been on the air since 2005 and have 700 episodes.
Oh, we need to catch
yeah,
up.
Funny thing, having started that long ago, and I think that's on par with This American Life. But Ira Glass started that back in 95. For a while at work, I was listening to the early episodes. I probably got through about 1 through 120 then, which is real strange listening to that from, Chicagoans' perspective in the late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how quaint the 1996 Republican convention sounded.
Things have changed, haven't they? It's like you can actually listen to that and watch it and go, I can see some good points in here. And now you're like, these people are fucking crazy.
This is pointless.
So I don't know much about Big Star.
Yep.
Or Yaz.
I know less about Yaz upstairs at Eric's. Carry on.
All right.
88 Daft Punk homework.
Wait, 97? I thought they were around longer than that.
I found a typo.
Around the World is boring. It's the same words over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Daft Punk guys. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
You have to apologize in French. Otherwise, they can't understand you.
Parlez-vous? I don't get it.
Je ne pas parler français, mon frère.
Oh.
I do not speak French, my brother.
Lo siento, no se puede.
My favorite song of theirs is Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, which is complete nonsense.
Yeah.
And pre-YouTube, someone made a video using the River City Ransom characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's one of my favorite NES games. So it's just like, all right, little dude bouncing around on the screen to that. It's incredible. Or just need better drugs.
I got to make sure what I said was correct. Oh, no, I said it cannot. No se puede is it cannot. So, I'm sorry, I don't get it. Oh, lo siento, no lo entiendo. Then, okay. I don't understand it. I knew Nintendo was understand, but
I get you a Nintendo, but they're very expensive now.
What about a
Enjoy
Nintendo?
your
It's the Spanish Nintendo.
No, you just need a Nintenuendo. And then
the Nintenuendos.
And Nintenuendo out the window.
I don't know how to spell it.
INN.
There we go. The Nintenuendos. Do you have to blow in my cartridge before you get me to work?
We'll discuss affair.
Sweet.
One of the best band names ever out of Canada, the New Pornographers. Mass Romantic. Where have all the sensations gone?
They're with the Cowboys with Paula Cole. I don't hate that song, actually.
The more time that passes, I like it better than the Dawson's theme.
I don't want to wait for our lives to be up.
Yeah. I think just the sheer overexposure of it, I got real sick of it.
You remember the Family Guys? When he's singing it, he's like, I want to buy a new Toyota.
I wish I could have waited to buy a new Toyota, but kind of got forced into it. And you know what? It's been fine. I've already put 4,000 miles on that car.
Oh, nice. Good Kid, Mad City from Kendrick Lamar, 2012. Oh, my God, that line at the end. Read that, everybody.
I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. The triumphalism, that's a difficult word, feels well earned.
I've only listened to like 2 Kendrick songs, and I actually did enjoy what I listened to. It wasn't mumble. He was actually, I don't know, rhyming and flowing with words instead of just...
Works half a barrage of the local hip-hop stations, and usually it's going to warrant a quick twist counterclockwise of the volume dial.
Mm-hmm. I think we're both going to enjoy number 85.
Rage Against the Machine, with the album Rage Against the Machine from Epic 1992.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm only really familiar with Killing in the Name, Bullet in the Head, and I think Calm Like a Bomb was on that one, wasn't it?
That sounds right.
I was more familiar with Evil Empire, but you really can't... That's one of the best album covers of all time, by the way.
The monk having set himself on fire.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That was the...
How's he doing now?
It's... His favorite restaurant's Char Bar.
Number 6, not 7, though.
Oh, yeah.
Why on earth did you put a number on your restaurant? It's not a fucking screen name.
I don't know. XX Steve Nicks XX69139er. I only had a number in my AOL screen name because it was my high school basketball number.
No
I think that's acceptable. But no, yeah. I tend to agree there. That's... She looks so weird with her hair pulled back.
Houston, we have a problem. It's 1985.
A cocaine problem.
Congratulations on being sober for a decade.
And the headline when she died, Whitney Houston beats Bobby Brown to death. Nobody saw that coming.
Way to cut onions.
How Will I Know was the number 1 song when I was born.
How will I know if he really loves me? How will I know? I got so fucking sick of Whitney Houston's music in the 6th grade because the go-to Run Around the Gym soundtrack was The Bodyguard.
Why?
Because old gym teacher McDonald really enjoyed it, so it was booming in the middle school gym as we had to go run around to the fucking Bodyguard soundtrack. So
wait,
it took me a really long time to finally appreciate Whitney Houston instead of this being, some form of torture in 1993.
I was going to say, yeah, you were 12 years old, and so, but there were so many good soundtracks you could have.
It was always The Bodyguard.
What a weird gym. Like, do the Ghostbusters fucking soundtrack.
If only. The Ghostbusters 2, so it has like that super creepy soundtrack instead of like the more upbeat one.
Yeah. Paid in Full from Eric B. and Rakim. I know who Rakim is. Eric B. I'm kind of struggling with.
That 1987 wardrobe is pretty fabulous.
They need to bring that shit back.
I've got nothing on that one.
It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without strong rhyme to step to. Think of how many weak shows you slept through. I don't know who the Congos are.
But Heart of the Congos is a pretty fabulous twist on that.
I like the Congas. I don't know.
81 Gang of Four. Like another one of those, like the name rings a bell and I can't place anything.
Yeah.
But it's entertainment.
Indeed. With a exclamation point. Who invented
entertainment? What do you want? It would be better with a question mark. Entertainment?
Semicolon. We don't know what's coming next.
Entertainment.
Semicolons always bother me. I don't know when to use them.
I think that's what you have after you've had some form of
gastric
intestinal cancer.
I have semicolon.
You now have semicolon. Number 80, the Beards. Mr. Tambourine Man, 1965. Wow, man, you can even dance to that, said Bob Dylan when he heard the Byrds heavily harmonize electric 12-string treatments of his material. There you have it. Bob Dylan covers well, says Bob Dylan.
Yeah, I'm not a big Dylan fan.
No, Kalen is, and that is one of our agreements to disagree.
Same way with Dave, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm not. Mm-hmm. There are very few things that we disagree on, actually. Musically, anyway. And automotively. And beer. It's almost like we host the show together.
One of us.
Elvis Presley, self-titled.
Wait a minute. This looks like the London Calling album cover.
Elvis calling in the Highwayland.
Interesting. I'm enjoying this a lot.
Which says what about the both of us? Blue suede shoes. He will be kind here. Borrowed from other genres.
Nope. He took his influences and ran in said shoes, which I never had blue ones, but my tan suede shoes were pretty damned uncomfortable. I hope you have better mileage out of yours.
Are they suede on the inside, too?
This is a long time ago. No, I couldn't tell you. Don't know. Don't care. Don't have them anymore. Haven't sought them out. It's like the two pairs of dressy shoes I have right now are awful, and I have to wear one of them in a month. So there's that.
You're not gonna. You're not gonna be thinking about your feet that day.
I expect to have drunk enough by that point it's not gonna really matter.
Drunk or drink? Yes.
Drunk.
We're gonna
drinked.
Drowned. Have you listened to much of the Stone Roses?
No, I can think of the song "Sister," which is awesome.
Sister?
No, "Love Spreads" is the song. Yeah,
Sister
Nixon's, but it was like around the same time was Nixon's "Sister." Stone Roses' "Love Spreads," like the bleebly and blah blah about, let me put you in a picture about my sister and blah blah blah.
Okay.
Not to be confused with band 12 Stones, which I hated.
I haven't listened to anything other than their singer singing on "Bring Me to Life" from Evanescence. Wait, that's 12. You said 12.
12 Stones was the one that I got confused with Stone Roses, so bought the CD and discovered I hate this.
Wait, I thought 12 Stone was...
No, that's the Bush album.
No, that's 16 Stone. Yeah, 12 Stones...
What was that about the numbers? It's not a fucking screen name.
12 Stones is an American hard rock band from Mandeville, Louisiana. And... discography, blah, 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 12 Stones, pretty sure he was the male voice in "Bring Me to Life" on...
like that kind of rappy bit?
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, that might be his one good work.
It is.
Huh.
Yeah, 12 yeah, the singer 12 yeah. But you didn't like the rest of the album?
It's been a while, but that made one skip through and just hated all of it.
Do you remember what you hated about it?
No, I don't remember what CD it was. Just, no, this is trash. And and then I discovered, the band I was looking for might have been Stone Roses, not 12 Stones.
Okay.
So, no.
The Stone Roses was definitely like Brit poppy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, basically anything Blur adjacent will see heavy play at the house.
There is a Netflix documentary called "This Is Pop," I think, and it's got the Britpop explosion and the feud between Oasis and
this
Blur.
Is beer.
And Oasis and Blur on it, and it actually goes through when they would release album. It's really, really good. You should watch it. I watched the one on that and Boyz II Men, the R&B. That was really good, too.
Nice.
Maybe I need to listen to some Stone Roses. It has REM and Oasis and Blur, and I like all those things. Well, I don't love Blur, but I was much more of an Oasis fan.
Well, everybody knows song 2, which is complete gibberish.
Well, that's gibberish, but like what Country House from Blur, it was kind of happy
like
and
Coffee and TV, Boys and Girls.
it was too happy. Like Oasis was darker.
Yeah,
And that, of course, I like darker, introspective lyrics more than happy shit.
and then Blur becomes Gorillaz and does quite well at that.
Oh my god, I was absolutely crying the other night, and not in a happy, like musically, it hit me so hard that I was like, Emily's like, "What are you listening to?
Are you happy? Are you feeling glad?"
I let her listen to it, and then she starts. It was Coldplay's Amsterdam, and it's such a pretty song. It's so good. It's really. I got to pull the lyrics up because it was so pretty that it's like, "Oh come on, my star is fading, and I swerve out of control. If I'd only waited, I'd not be stuck here in this hole. Time is on your side. It's on your side now, not pushing you down and all around. It's no cause for concern." And at the very end, or stuck here on this ball and chain, I'm on my way back down again. Stood on a bridge, tied to the noose, sick to my stomach. I'm sick of the secrets. I'm stood on the edge, tied to a noose, but you came along and you cut me loose. But you came along and cut. It is so pretty. I can't read that anymore. I'm fucking crying.
So let's have to get over the fact that it's freaking Coldplay.
The first 2 albums are great. After that, it's too
punchliney.
Yeah, the first 2 albums are guitar-driven albums. Like they have lots of guitar parts.
I was like, their first hit was Yellow, and I hate that song to this day.
You and
21
Toby,
years later, no.
You and Toby both hate Yellow. I actually like Yellow.
I don't like the color yellow.
I've learned Clocks for Saturday.
That's definitely one of their better songs.
Yeah. And while we're doing
that
this,
and The Scientist is like Kaylin's go-to. Like, all right.
I play that now too.
Oh, they had the part of science, bitch. Break the bad you want to see in the world.
Yeah, for real. What's next, Steve?
Thank Drake me later. Because Aubrey makes an awful rapper name.
Well, he was in
a Canadian Afro-Jewish former teen television star who raps about the malaise of macking over dourly down-tempo ambient beats. Goodness.
He was
How
in
and
Degrassi.
What in the hell do you concoct that sentence?
Yeah, he was in Degrassi.
That is some me-level bullshit to describe anything as a that.
I'm busy getting rich. I don't want trouble. I made enough for 2 N-words, boy. Stunt double.
Funny you mentioned that the word N-word is already a word. So you can in fact say N-word. I-N-W-A-R-D.
Nice.
Or if you're feeling, intimidated by that, outward. We're going to figure it out, and you've offended nobody. What's up, my outward? See?
Yeah.
Don't you feel better already?
I do. There was a post on Reddit. It was, my spouse has my name in his phone as just my regular name. It's nothing cute. It's nothing silly. It's nothing like sweetheart. It's just my name. And the first response was, "Hey, well, my twin brother has my name in his phone as spare parts." So it could be worse.
So you get a third kidney and a fourth kidney.
Yep. Yes.
And a 33rd tooth and a third nut. Interesting.
Wait, you don't have... Huh? You don't have 3?
I can back down that.
Okay. I'm out. You're out. What's
It would be
next?
funny if I said a second nut.
With the powers combined.
Surprise me.
Oh, what did you bring anything that you wanted to share?
Well, I've got the Guinness Coffee and the Voodoo Ranger 85.
Let's do the Voodoo Ranger.
All right.
To completely mix up our that's such
beer
a
styles.
fucking cool can.
Yes.
But is New Belgium preoccupied with 1985?
Yeah, I'm fearing we may not see any Bowling for Soup in this list. It's like that's a really catchy song, but it's like I'm gonna have a really hard time listening to a lot of that band. It's just everything's gonna sound like this.
It's not quite as bad as Teenage Dirtbag, although I like the song, but you just have to get past the lyrics.
Or I'm gonna have to get past his voice. Play it at half tempo,
like a doom metal version.
Ooh,
we should do that. All right, Steve, it's an all can episode. 1, 2, 3. Let's make my editing even more impossible.
It's like I'm drinking in Greensboro because glass recycling is more difficult now. Ka-tink.
Yeah.
Wait, I can't wait to see the still his look
is
with this Cobra denim jacket, the shades, whatever fucking hat and earmuffs that is, and the fanny pack.
Those are peppermint earmuffs.
Yes, they are.
That is great.
Peppermint earmuffs. That sounds like it could be
great band name.
Something.
Some poor soul is going to have to listen to all these episodes we've done and write down all of our fake band names.
I should really take better notes and like more roundabout, like just doing even more.
Notes.
And for it's been a while since I've had this, and like that's really good.
It's
like,
so cold.
Kind
like,
of a
you have dry ice in that fucking thing?
No, what I have is a $3 medium-sized ice pack courtesy of Blott's.
Fuck the Yetis.
Can't afford those.
Fuck no.
Yeti prostitutes are surprisingly expensive. No, it's this thing.
Oh.
And they were right on top of it, so...
Oh, nice.
That helped.
Next up, Steve, is Devo. Are we not men? We are Devo.
Here's what you're not drinking.
Nitro cold brew coffee. Steve's bringing all the coffee. I will say I'm awake now.
That makes one of us. And my cooler's attempting to eat my headphone wire.
It's the first time I've ever heard that saying before.
I still am really disturbed by that album cover. It was supposed to be a composite of like all 4 band members, and like it's just such a strange looking man.
It
looks
like a young Andy Griffith.
Complete with the hat that Dangerfield tells the guy, like, "Man, get one of these hats. Bet you they give you a free bowl of soup. Oh, it looks good on you."
No, hey, the guy will sell one of those extra foot switches that only requires a regular cable for $25. I can pick that shit up tomorrow. Yo.
Hey, nice.
And then if I don't use it, I can just, sell it.
Pawn it back off, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so debut, I always said Evo. Devo. Uncontrollable Urge is insane. And
I haven't heard it.
That was used in one of the basically America's Funniest Home Videos, but on MTV. So it's the edgy version of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the ongoing vocal track is this catchy but irritating something, and they're playing that all the time on. I can't remember who it is or what maybe it's Ridiculousness. But this, yeah. And every time they break for commercial, they're playing that. It's really strange seeing MTV bring out any semblance of vintage music for this.
For sure.
But for what it's worth, this song predating MTV, it's catchy, but it's not exactly amazing.
Steve.
But it's definitely far from the Whip It everybody knows, and is the only song anybody knows from Devo.
True.
I find them really hit and miss.
Well,
and I think that song's mostly hit, but could really do without the screaming yokel bit.
Every time I see the manual garage door release in my garage, it's a Devo hat. That's exactly what, and it gets. That's exactly what I think about.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Steve, we have
the Go-Go's, Beauty and the Beat. Apparently, they were some really hard partiers back in the 80s.
He's like, hey, I told him I could pick up the pedal tonight. I was like, really late. He goes, what's really late? I was like, 9. We're by the time we eat and everything. So
Yeah.
8:30 or 9. I mean,
How far is this?
Matthews.
Hey, perfect.
I'm gonna recording an episode of a podcast right now.
Speaking of business, I currently have another pie for Charles ready, and he hasn't gotten back to me.
Oh, yeah, he'll get back to you eventually.
Yeah, that's always the case. Like, hey, can you do a thing? Yeah, I can do a thing. I'm gonna be out of town this weekend. As soon as I get back in town, I think I have all the parts. Discover, yes, I have all the parts. Burn image, had to get backup USB drive. All right, it's ready.
So now I can buy this part for $25 with an extra pedal I don't need. So instead of 1, it's 2. But I don't need that other pedal, but I'll have it.
I think you need to add an extra pedal just to make sure you have 3 pedals.
Well, then
Or better yet, no, then you have to have a 4th, so then it's your foot-mounted parking brake. So then you can cover everything at the same time.
Well, then I'll have an extra pedal that I don't need, but at least everything will work without some kind of hacked-up cable. So there's that.
Yeah, which brings me to the next point that I never attempted to patch my cut 100-foot power cable. They just need to get in touch with one of those people selling one on FaceBase for $12 instead of the hardware store for $40.
Yeah, well, I almost spent $750 on a new front bumper for the Jeep today, but the guy told me he wanted to sell them as a set, front and rear, and I only have the rear. I have the rear already, so don't really need that. I almost told him I'll give you $1,000 for both, and then sell the rear one for $500, but I don't really want to do that. So there's another one in Myrtle Beach for $300. The guys got back to me yet. Fuck out. It says red. I'm like, hey, do you still have the bumper? I'm super interested. And it just says red. I know you read it. Let me know.
Oh, I was thinking, like, it's a RED bumper. Like, well, paint's cheap. Ryan align it.
If I message you and ask you, if I tell you I'm super interested and I really want this bumper, and you read it and you don't respond, did you want to sell it? If you did sell it, let me know. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But don't just read it and then go, fuck it. Whatever. Anyway, Go-Go's. Other than Our Lips Are Sealed and We Got the Beat, I couldn't name another Go-Go's song.
I think This Town almost rings a bell, but not quite, so we'll just carry on.
Wake me up before the Go-Go's.
Oh, man. The XX. A band that I really enjoyed the female vocal, and the male vocal just I find irksome.
Have you heard much Lacuna Coil?
No.
They have a male and female vocal. And he can sing, but like my buddy Chris Pilata was telling me that when he went to see Lacuna Coil, she was getting some water or something, and he was like, thank you guys for coming out. We are Lacuna Coil. And then somebody yelled, put the girl back on. Because she is gorgeous. Mm-hmm. Christina Scabia is her name. She's beautiful. She has a great voice. She's married to Jim Root from Slipknot. She's 5'1". He's 6'7".
With their powers combined, their children would be completely normal sized.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know anything about the XX.
They've got their moments, and I'll just have to fast forward when the dude's singing because I don't like his voice.
Yeah.
Next, Nora Jones. You attractive creature, you.
She is. She's very pretty.
Come away with me.
Okay, where are we going?
Anywhere but here. Up the hill to have wings and pizza again. What?
Sounds good to me. I will say the first time I went, I had the wings and the knots. The knots were really good. The wings were decent, but not as good as Peel or Hawthorne's, but not bad. They just, you know me, I like mine drenched.
Yeah.
And they were a little drier than I like, but still the quality of the chicken was good. And now it's CBGF with food.
Yes. Well, I burned you up a fine pork tenderloin or two the other night.
It was really the only time I ever grilled pork was pork chops. I've never did the tenderloin at whole, but it turned out really, really good. Yeah. Because in my mind, I was like, it might be a little bit chewier, but it actually wasn't.
We've had really good luck with those.
Sure. That was good.
And it couldn't be easier. Just, I don't know, set on fire for 10 minutes on the side and you're done.
Mm-hmm. Next up, Led Zeppelin.
something heavy balloon. They had to say LED Zeppelin before the lighting technology, because otherwise they're wondering what the hell is a lead Zeppelin. We gotta
it's a low efficiency.
We gotta dumb it down for the Americans here, man.
Well, you know what? Even if I didn't get the Switch to work, it still got my free bag of candy from Sweetwater.
Complete with Smarties.
I love Smarties.
Did I show you how I like to eat Smarties?
No.
The whole thing at once. Take the ends of it, pull it open, and just dump it in your face.
Oh. Well, you like peppermints, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have the peppermints.
You don't care for peppermint.
Nope. I don't like Tootsie Rolls either, so.
Let me see that Tootsie Roll.
Butterfly. No, that's old.
I'm getting crazy town flashbacks.
I don't hate Tootsie Rolls. I just don't ever. I would never pick them out.
It's a weird mix of chocolate and a candle.
Are you waxing poetic about Tootsie Rolls?
It's more prose.
Mary J. Blige is up next, and I've heard a little bit of it, but not enough to really warrant an opinion. Although if I heard that other song she had, that "Let's Get It Percolating and Violating This Dancery," that was horrible. I didn't like that one. But "Not Gonna Cry" was a really pretty song. I don't know if you remember that one. Not gonna cry, not gonna shed no tears. I deserve better. That was a good one. But there's no such thing as R&B anymore.
Thing of first up, awesome. Communication breakdowns, fantastic. What's the 401? Don't know. PJ Harvey, one of the things I should have listened to more and didn't. The album is dry, and so am I. Probably Gene Harvey.
I don't know who. I do not know PJ Harvey.
No. Don't. It's a name I've heard, and I've done a little research. Whoops. Versus Flink Pag from Wire.
Flink Pag.
12XU is awesome, and then Minor Threat covered it. It's like I could make that a 4-character license plate for my Blue Ridge Parkway tag.
Oh, nice.
Like, that's about going to be a joke for me.
That's okay. Like, nobody has to be on the end on your inside joke. Talking Heads, 77.
Nice.
I haven't listened to much Talking Heads. Everything I've listened to them, though, I have enjoyed, I will say.
They get Devo strange. If you listen to them back to back, like there's gonna be some bonkers McTavishness, and they can't all be Psycho Killer.
And they're all from Britain, right?
I think Talking Heads are from New York.
Really? I thought they were British.
It doesn't say here.
I feel like with BYRNE, it seems. Let's see, where are Talking Heads from? And Steve is the winner of this one. New York, New York. A city so nice they named it twice. Never been.
Me neither. City nor state.
Me either.
This Kaylin finds quite shocking since she's from Saratoga, which is 3 hours from city proper.
You know, it's not that expensive to go, but it is expensive to do things you want to do. I've been in Newark, New Jersey, which you can clearly see the entire city of New York.
Which is a damn dirty trick to name your town Newark, which sounds an awful like New York. When I went to Boston years ago, connected to and from in Newark, and could see blue sky, big gray cloud over New York, more blue sky.
Yeah.
And could have sworn I got a picture of the skyline in March of 2001.
Ooh.
And cannot find this picture that I thought I had. which is real strange to think what happened 6 months later, and its 20th anniversary is coming up.
And we're supposed to pull out all the troops from Afghanistan by then, which is too late, but still better late than never.
Well, they fell for one of the classic blunders.
Yeah.
Don't go in a land war in Asia.
No. God, no. Next up is Get Rich or Die Trying from 50 Cent. And I'm entitled to agree with that, even though I'm not really a hip-hop fan. But that song was every fucking where. In the club, was everywhere. And I want to say there were a couple more on that album, but that was pretty much that was the business on that one.
That last line is pretty fabulous. Fun fact, Get Rich or Die Trying went 9 times platinum, making 50 the first rapper to sell $1 million for each time he had gotten shot.
Yeah.
Yikes.
The last line of one of the fads, like, been hit with a few shells, I don't walk with a limp. The Stooges.
Yeah, how stupid was I thinking the Rage Against the Machine song? Around a family with a pocket full of shells. Like, what is going to the beach? The dumb teenager.
Just feed the war, cannibal animal eye. Along the corner to the rubble that used to be a library, line up to the mine cemetery now. Oh, it's such a good line. They don't have to burn the book, they just remove them. I got to give Greg a Rage Against the Machine album. He's going to fucking hate me because he doesn't like rap, but because...
well, it's...
I know.
Got rap metal done really well. Like,
I know.
Like there's the really heavy end and the really bizarre end that is Two Skinny J's. Any idea who they are?
Yes. We've
like,
talked about them.
I saw them in concert. It's fabulously bizarre. Kalen hated when I was playing that one at the house.
That's funny because the amount of shit you've probably played for her and she hates Two Skinny J's seems...
Yeah, Two Skinny J's and the Bloodhound Gang really were it.
Okay. Well,
No, I know better. And it's like, yeah, here's some Rammstein. KMFDM, she didn't seem to mind. But that is just more like electronic than like super heavy industrial.
Right.
Like, whereas Rammstein is just a battering ram to the ears.
And evidently he has a solo album coming out, or out now. The singer of Rammstein.
Lindemann?
Yeah. Let's see here.
So they're not fascists. They're not communists. They're East Germans that happen to find their niche and use everything terrible around them to make everyone else really uncomfortable.
Fun comfortable.
Thanks, Chris.
The Stooges. Self-titled. Iggy Pop.
Yep. It's proto-punk, like proto-heavy metal. Like it's still really good. I
need to delve into that. Like fueled by a little marijuana and a lot of alienation.
And it's real funny to hear Iggy Pop talk now that he's in his 70s and he's got these crazy abs. But man, he's got a face like a leather couch.
Mm-hmm. I have not listened to much Liz Phair.
Me neither. Exile in Guyville from 1993.
Fucking run. A divorce song. Interesting.
One of the saddest songs ever written about dreaming of romance and settling for less.
Thanks, Iggy. Every episode, the Iggy Pop episode. We are never going to get through this.
I think at this rate, we're going to get to about 50 and just have to call it.
I just can't stop English Beat. Don't know. Cyndi Lauper, we do know. Time After Time is still such a great song.
And girls just want to have fun.
I like that one, but Time After Time is like, you could honestly make the argument that that was the pop hit of the 80s. And there's a lot of people that wouldn't argue with that. That's a good one. Thought about learning that, but I don't know if I could do it justice live. Roxy Music?
on my other music podcast, Soundography, they delved into this, and I couldn't make heads or tails of it, but also I'm listening to it when mowing, so everything's noisy.
It's a translucent cyber rock like Ladytron. That sounds like a porno name.
No, one of my favorite Revolting Cock songs is Hookerbot 3000.
I love that name. I just love the name Revolting Cocks.
Yeah, like it's not good. It's just this weird industrial punk psychosis.
And punkstrial.
Pretty much, since they are side projects of Al Jurgensen and Jelly Biafra, it's just batshit. And they've been on and off for 40 years.
Mostly on or mostly off?
Mostly off.
The Libertines?
Best band you're not listening to.
Interesting.
That was one of the bands referred to in a Local 8 song regarding like splitting up CDs when he's breaking up with his girlfriend. It's like, why'd you take my Libertines?
But Pete Doherty's a fucking basket case, though. Like Pete Doherty, he would like shoot drugs in interviews and then like take his blood and start fucking shooting it out like that guy's fucking nuts.
Well, good news. I've been to none of his shows for such a Gallagher-esque presentation.
That's amazing.
Blood-O-Matic!
It's a lot less,
It's like, this is... AIDS hadn't been cured by that point, so you're not, out of the woods yet, bud.
If you're Magic Johnson
had this been happening in 1986, this would be
terrifying.
More frowned upon.
If you're Magic Johnson, he's down to one aid.
Aid with an E. Aid with an E. It's like the South Park episode where they have fake Jared Vogel. How'd you lose all the weight? Oh, yeah, I had AIDS. People helping me. Man.
What a great show. Title from Fiona Apple. Now, I know it had Criminal on it, but I haven't listened to the rest of the album.
Is Title on Title, or is Title even still a thing? Because I couldn't give less of a shit about, was it Jay-Z's music streaming service? Like, I got Spotify and apparently now have Apple Music too.
Mm-hmm. The Yeah Yeah Yeahs, Fever to Tell.
Maps cost me a round of Guitar Rock Hero Band because I'd never heard this song before. It was like trying to sing along to this thing I never heard. I can't help you.
Steve, you'll appreciate number 58.
Pretty Hate Machine by 9 Inch Nails.
I love the name of that album and the origins of it. By the way, I really do think Terrible Lie is probably one of my favorite 9 Inch Nails songs. It's such a good one.
Kind of you want to.
I haven't. I've got the album in the car, but
yeah. Here's how my mind works: head like a hole, black as your soul. I'd rather die than give you control. Geek, stink, breath,
green nails.
They were copper.
9-day nails.
So just. It was 3 Day Nails, and that's my new Christian rock group. Thank you.
3-day nails.
Hi.
No grace was happening. Oracular Spectacular from MGMT.
I hate MGMT. Kids is the worst song in the history of noise.
I don't think I've ever heard this group.
I hate it. I hate it so much. No. Next.
All right.
Bon Iver.
Bon Iver.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Don't speak Icelandic or Wisconsinian.
Yep. Skip it. Oh, yes. Me, I'm super fly. Super duper fly.
Missy Misdemeanor Elliott. Hey, I had 2 of them.
That's 2 more than I've had.
Hey. Well, one was for bull and one was for shit. So there's that.
I did have to go beep beep. Who got the keys to the Jeep? Me. She has the best. Her and Busta Rhymes do the best music videos of anybody.
The crazy like fisheye lens, like super zoom, whatever have yous, and puffy jackets. Like it is pretty incredible. Number 54. Oh my, kill 'em all. I don't think she'll like that very much.
Not with that attitude. Is it raining?
It's supposed to.
Whatever.
Which is funny considering that there's an early recording or bootleg of Mustaine doing a lot of these songs in '82. So imagine the same songs, but just that twang, it's everything.
But he didn't sing it, did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
what? He got kicked out of the band.
No, he wasn't the singer. He was the lead guitar player.
He was apparently on both duties because somewhere I've got the MP3s of this.
I thought he was just lead guitar player.
Well, it definitely sounds like him. And then he gets kicked out of the band and starts Megadeth. Why? Megadeth will be alphabetically before Metallica in the record stores. Who is your favorite petty? Tom, Kyle, or Richard?
And actually, it was supposed to be called Metal Up Your Ass, but then they made him change it to Kill 'Em All.
It's a little too heavy to call it that.
The New York Dolls.
The prettiest bunch of fellas you ever heard, and it's punkish with a very thick New York accent. The song "Trash" is fantastic. Trash! Don't pick it up! Oh, wait. That reminds me I need to take it out.
They picked ours up Tuesdays.
Our schedule just changed from Thursday morning to Friday morning.
We got U2 Boy from 80. I didn't realize it was that old.
Yes.
Man, we have really got to start flying through this.
I figured, just call it at 50. It's going to take too long to get through the rest of it.
The Smiths.
Yep.
We can't call it at 50, Steve. We're only an hour and a half in. No, it's 7:42.
Well, we've got food to eat and parts to pick up and work to do.
Wait, we have work to do?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have a resume to update too. So the stakes have been raised a bit.
So we need to do the other.
Yeah,
the other 50.
Car shit.
Okay. Well, we can call it early. We can just do a quick episode next week too.
Fair enough.
All right. Cool. Yep. Well, Steve, I got to pick that up, even though I'm sad I'm out.
Never mind the sheer batshitness of Morrissey nowadays, but hot damn, Smiths sound really fantastic between the grim lyrics and whatever magical guitaring that Johnny Marr does.
What year did that come out?
84.
Jesus.
Somewhere I've got the BBC series, the Seven Ages of Rock, and they feature that and the ins and outs of this charming man becoming a thing. Just sounds fantastic.
Gotcha.
Or whatever you can do to attempt to be a fashionable young lad in the mid-'80s in England.
A strapping young lad? That was a Devin Townsend thing. And I've never seen somebody with a mullet but was also bald.
Well, I know Josh isn't. I think that's kind of the Kenny G look, isn't it?
Yeah,
or the Michael Bolton,
the
Michael Bolton look.
Well, now Devin Townsend has no hair, so he didn't let it quit. He fired it.
So you're saying he ended that town.
So we will do the next 50 next week of debut albums we can delve a little bit deeper into.
Okay.
Well, Steve, let's go eat some new food you have. Well, not new food, but food at a new place.
A new restaurant in the shell of, don't call it a generic breakfast joint because, frankly, Jimmy's won't be missed. I've ate there once. It's like, Yep, I could get this heart attack anywhere.
Yep, breakfast restaurants are the easiest to run because breakfast is pretty much the same everywhere unless you want to do like a hipster brunch, and then you're not doing that in Mid-Hill.
I'll make my own avocado toast.
Hipster
Thank you
brunch
very
would be
much.
another good Band-Aid. Well, been fun. Let's go eat something.
Let's get out of here.
All right, Steve. Well, we're done, and we'll see you soon. And hey, Steve.
90 toodles.
Bye.
AJ. Bye.
Bye.